what you should have in a car. Sorry for issues, but it happens. Nothing is reliable as we expect it to be. But there is always. I like his drive time music, what he plays for me. Alright. I'll be also announcing a guest for next week. That will be cracking. He's gonna join me. He's a super successful guy. He's a great friend of mine. And he loves cars. And the one topic will be about the cars and car issues. Not the car issues, but more about the fun problems. Sport cars. I can give you a peek. He loves his Porsches. And he also has plane, right? I mean, so you can drop some emails to expatradio.france@gmail.com. And he can actually fly as well. So he's a crazy dude, you know. Come on, Dave, we just wanna roll. Everyone is tuning in, we have technical problems. But we resolved it, looks like it. And in a second, we're gonna go back live. Nope, something's not right. No. We're cool. I'm ready. This happens when you don't test equipment. Good morning, world. Welcome to Drive Time.
Morning. We're finally there.
Finally there. Apologize for technical issues on my side. It happens. It's a drive time. You know, I'm driving here, the radio. You driving cars, and something broke down here on my side, so I had to fix it.
Very good. So what's the conversation about today? What's the topic?
As the winter is coming, it's quite a hot topic, right? Do you have a lot of snow on your side?
It's blooming freezing here. It's summer snow here this morning.
But we have a sunshine now. I'm just joking. Now we have a grey weather. So I think everyone is getting ready for winter, and I think we can just get together our stuff. What you should have in a car when you drive in the winter.
Good idea. Good thinking.
And how you should sort of prep the car. Really basics, not rocket science, but it's just a reminder really for people. Obviously the guys who listen in America and Australia, you are rolling already, you know. It's about us here where we have to wear the coats, right? Like Dave in France, on top of the mountain.
I've sussed it out for winter. What you do, you make sure that if you break down, you've got your girlfriend in the car with you. So you can have a kiss and a cuddle and keep you warm.
Ah, that's a great idea, yeah.
That's if your heater's not working, you're goosed, aren't you? So
then you can just have a warm cuddle, yeah.
Exactly.
But that's if you're lucky, if you do have one. I mean, not everyone has, so I mean, that's why we need to make sure the heaters are working and you have a right antifreeze in the car. So.
Exactly. Blow up doll with a hot water bottle. That will make, you know, that could be a big replacement. Can't speak this morning. It's the cold. I've got cramp for the mouth. It's the cold. That's what it is.
I said to you, don't start the show from the top of the mountain.
Oh, it's truth. I can't speak. Right, do you want an email this morning?
Oh, do you have any questions?
We do.
Oh, yes.
Colin Bradbury in Malmesbury. It's nice, Malmesbury. It's a bit posh. It's near the Cotswolds, apparently.
Oh, nice.
Said, what is the best colour? This is a good question, this. What is the best colour vehicle to buy to deal with the heat? And does constant sunshine cause problems with the paintwork rather like salt on the roads in the UK?
Oh yeah, it's like any environment problems can cause paint issues, defects to the paint and corrosion issues as in the winter when the salt is spread on the roads. But obviously the best paint probably would be probably there will be no issues with the paint if a right protection is put on the body, on a paint, which protects for UV light, right, which actually damages the paint. If the protection is on, then there's no issues. But I mean, if you're not looking after the paint, regardless what color it will, the car will be, you will have issues over the time. You know, like every paint or any bodywork has a warranty period or life cycle or lifespan of the paint when the paint gets flat, and pretty much every year is recommended to polish the vehicle, put a wax on which protects and makes it easier to wash, and protectors to protect from UV light and bird poo, train poo. Yeah, what we have as when you're parking under the trees. But yeah, there's I like the question, because this is question about the people who love cars and I love caring for the vehicles. There are so much crazy technology out, like nano coatings, right? And that we can do a different topic about it, because one of my customers as well asked actually, what do you think about those nano coatings and how it should be done properly and how you should be caring for the vehicle's body properly. But yeah, if you don't want to heat up in a vehicle, I mean, probably the more lighter the vehicle, the less exposure is going to get to the sun, because it's going to reflect the heat or the sun waves off the vehicle, you know. But still, make sure there's some sort of coating and protection on to keep the cars protected from unwanted exposure. That's what I can say, you know.
Right.
But about nanotechnology and nano coatings, we will do a different show about that, because I mean, a lot of people would like to hear it, because that's quite new stuff and there's so many products in the market, and you can get lost. Even I get lost, you know. Sometimes you're just quite skeptical on these new products, but I mean, they are there and apparently they are good. I haven't tested myself, but I mean, yeah, it's a good thing to look into to protect the vehicle, the people who want to maintain the colour of the vehicle and protect from scratches and environment issues, and make it easier to wash and make the car cleanliness last longer than usual. Great question, like that.
Very good. Right, next one. Helen
Dave.
Shearhorn, I can't speak. Helen Shearhorn, now living in Strasbourg, says, what are the best tyres to buy and how long should they last? Because my last set were budget tyres and lasted 2 years.
Yeah, that happens with that is the budget tires from the China, and they're not the greatest ones. I mean, there's so many brands out there. I mean, the premium brands probably everyone knows. Obviously they're not sponsoring our show, but I mean, you would know yourselves, like Bridgestone, Pirelli's, Goodyear's, Hankook's, and so on and so on. You can just name them, right? But how long they should last? Good tire should last you. Good branded tire should last you at least 30,000 miles, 40,000 miles. It depends on the vehicle what it is again as well. I mean, if it would be 4x4 SUV, I mean, if it's a sport car, it depends on the suspension setting and tracking setting. You know, you can wear them out quickly. I mean, if you're a sensible driver and commute normally and using your car wisely, then they definitely should last around 3 years, 4 years, because if you don't use it a lot, they're starting to crack regardless of what tires you do have. But I mean, the good branded tire will last you at least 40,000 miles. Because I just did on my car 22,000 miles and I still got plenty of left, so I would expect they're gonna last me about 40,000, 35,000 miles, you know, of driving. So that's what I can say, yeah. But the budget tires you buy only when you resell in a car. That's what you normally. That's what I tend to see when people resell in the cars, or one form or another. Yeah, but they are good budget tires as well. I mean, there's swings and rounds, but I mean it's a huge market to dig in, you know, and personal preference as well, like branding.
Well, shall we go to music, and then when we come back, we're going to get some more tips about what you need in your car for winter, and I've got some more emails that we're going to be reading out as well.
Cool, I like that. But make sure there's no Selena Gomez or something like that on a drive.
Selena Gomez? Never heard of her.
Well, I mean Celine Dion, like last time. So, let's see what he's gonna play. They're gonna ban me for copyright, but I don't care. Yeah, hey, good morning. It's just me. It's just me improvising. We're not live at the moment. We just going into the music time. They're gonna play something which will make you sleep. If you're listening, I'm quite curious. Let's see what he's gonna play. Would it be something Dave style? Yeah, he's an expat, you know. Take good care of my heart. I like these songs. So yeah, if you have any questions, you can drop us an email to expertradio.france@gmail.com, and you can ask anything you like, anything you had, anything you experienced, anything you want me to clarify, because we have that hot topic about nano coatings to protect the car from scratches and washes. But again, if you apply the nano coating and it's not, and if you take it to just an ordinary car wash, it will just ruin the coating, as they are 1 year coatings, 2 year, 3 year, and I think they go even up to the 10 years, but you need a personalized care. So pretty much the mobile car wash who comes out and who applies those, you pretty much have to book this guy constantly to come and look after your vehicle, because I believe there's a certain way to what they use to not to damage the coating and not to wash it off. that's how much I know without researching this market. But if you try them, I haven't tried them, so I can't really speak. I mean, when I seen when they're applied, and it's been polished, and the coating applied, it looks quite nice. You know, you can see the difference. But what's the reliability of that? I mean, no idea. I haven't tried it myself, so I can't really speak. I can only speak for what I used. Can continue about the tyre topic. So yeah, I believe good tyres should last you 27,000 miles a year. Morning everyone, we're back live.
We're back live, right. We've got some more emails for you.
Should I announce our guest? Should I announce before we go to questions, to emails, should I announce the guest, a teaser for next week? Or we keep it to the later?
Yeah, no, go for it.
I just want to announce the guest for next week, and he's Jonathan Berlian. He's a super successful person. He's a great friend of mine, and Dave, and I feel obliged to invite him as a first call person to join us, and he is a great fan of Porsches. So we will have a great show talking about top cars he ever had, the top cars he has, right? And as he loves Porsches, the people who love Porsches, there will be good value what will come out from Jonathan, and he also has a plane, so you will be able to ask him how he actually fly that. You know?
What are the best tires on your plane?
Yeah, that's an amazing question. Yeah.
The budget tyres, or do you go for the Pirelli or the Michelin or the Goodyear?
Yeah.
Oh dear, you don't want a budget tyre on a plane, I tell you.
Oh, you can ask him where he keeps the fuel on a plane when he runs out of it.
That's the other thing. Where do you keep a petrol can when you're in the air and you think you're running a low way? How do we top it up?
Yeah.
Put a parachute on and just climb out the window and start. You know, have you got a funnel? Look.
Yeah, I have to give a massive love to his mom out, because I spoke with him this morning, and his mom damaged the back, and she's quite old, and he looks after her. I mean, I hope she will be well quickly, fairly soon. You know, so
get some DP on your back, or I tell you what's another good thing: Tiger Balm. So Mrs. Berlian, get some Tiger Balm on your back, you'll be fine. You won't feel a thing. Yeah,
it's a mom. Yeah, it's his mom.
Yes, must be Mrs. Berlian, surely, if that's his mum.
Oh yeah, sure.
See, you did. I thought you were on the ball this morning, but obviously.
Yeah, you're challenging me, I know.
Oh, bless. Right, here we go. Right, first, I've got a question here for you from Christine Manford from Cork in Ireland. From Cork, there. It'll be beautiful. I tell you what, it must be. I've been around there in Ireland, and the roads. It's like a roller coaster, because once you get on them, you can't get off, and they're up and down like a yo-yo, and anything can come at you from the other way. It scares me to death. They're not even marked. It's just tarmac. There's no lines overtaking or anything like that.
For those people who don't know where is Caroline Island, and who's lost of direction like me, whereabouts that is? Let's just clarify.
It's on the, let me get it right, southwest coast, or southwest of Ireland. It's a lovely place.
All right.
It's quite it's very rural though. It's very, people that cut, well, the locals, as Kristen will tell you, it's they talk like that in Cork, and it's quite quite difficult to understand the bloody word they're saying to you, but obviously everything's grand. And seriously, it's just like another world, but I love it there. And the people there are amazing. Absolutely, the most lovely people that you'll ever come across. Now, Christine's question
Yes.
is, my question is regarding oil. Which manufacturer is the best one to buy in general? Good question, Christine.
Yeah, Christine, it's a
I've
good
not
question.
thought of this, to be honest. I wouldn't know it well, apart from obviously knowing if it's 5 to 30 or 5 to 40 or whatever. Then you're thinking, well, I wonder what a Shell or what I'm trying to think of other.
You got Wolverine, Shell, Castrol, Mobil One,
Yeah.
and then obviously you got Halfords Oil, Tesco Oil.
Yeah. Don't go for Tesco, my God.
Yeah, don't go. As every oil have to meet the minimum requirements, right? SAA or whatever these organizations are around the world, in every country, right? But these are just minimum requirements. I mean, what makes the great oil when they start adding specific ingredients to make the engine and wear and tear parts last longer and increases. I mean, cools the engine more better and so on and so on. That's where the price comes in for the oil. You know, the cheaper the oil. Yeah, it might be there's no difference. You're looking Tesco and Castro and thinking, I would go for the Tesco oil or what's there some supermarket in France? Name one, please.
Super U or Pizza Market.
Oh, Pizza Market. I mean, or Super U oil or any of these, and then you're looking at a Castro or Mobil and thinking, it's just an oil. It's like a cooking oil. We just get it. I mean, they meet minimum requirements, but I mean, there is a difference of the ingredients they add. Like when you're cooking food, you can cook it the way it will taste bland, but when you go to the different place or to your neighbor, it tastes better, right? I mean, same as the oil, you know, and that's what makes the price and the brand as well. There is no specific brands where you go, because every manufacturer sticks and advertises their own preferences, right? I mean, but there are some brands out there which are more better than would be like Mobil One and Castro, because these are mainstream ones, you know, like Coca-Cola. Is it the best drink in the world? The more healthiest? No, it's not. I mean,
it's the best drink to knock your teeth out.
It's just most well-known thing where you just tend to go. It's like Mobil, Castro, Shell. I mean, not Shell would be another, but the Mobil One and Castro. Those will be where people simply go because they know it's like they're on a shelf on the right in front of your eyes, you know, and people tend to go. Liquid Moly, there's good German brand oils out there. Again, personal preference. To actually assess if the oil does those qualities, you have to send it to laboratory and find out which actually has the best protective.
She won't be doing that in Cork, will she?
Yeah. Yeah. As long as you stick to good brands, you know, and find out some hidden ones which are kind of coming up brands in the market. I mean, you can't go wrong. But I mean,
right.
Yeah, it's personal preference, right? Pepsi or Coca-Cola.
Right. Thanks very much for that, Christine. And by the way, love Cork. So if you're ever over in France, come and say hello. Scare me to death. Out of the blue. Right.
If you're not on top of the mountain.
She'll be here. I'll put money on it. If I say to people, come and see me, they turn up. That's the frightening thing. Whenever I'm at an event, they come over and they grab me by the shoulders. It's me. He's like, who the hell are you? But that's another story. Right. Yeah. Graham Coyne in Aberdeen says, which is the best petrol for your car if it's older than 10 years old, leaded or unleaded?
Normally, your manufacturer will recommend what you should actually use for the vehicle. And you obviously tend to stick to that one because they recommend you what you should put in, leaded or unleaded. I mean, for the 10-year-old car, I would just put because normally now you don't really have much choices in a petrol station, right? You just have unleaded.
Well, it's 95 and 98 over here. I don't know what it's like. I've not been to the UK. I've not filled fuel up in the UK for 16, 17 years, but I don't know anywhere else in Europe what the situation is with fuel. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I mean, it is 95, 98, it's a good point, but here in UK is unleaded or super unleaded. You know, yeah, I mean, that probably would be same as 95 or 98, that's what it actually means.
Right.
It's just one fuel, pretty much. You just go and just dose in your gallon or jar or pocket, you know, wherever you're filling for what purpose you're going to use that fuel. Yeah, if you, I tested, right, and I haven't seen. I'm talking about diesel. I tried those Shell super diesels or whatever they call them, power, right, and just a normal diesel, and I haven't seen any fuel savings whatsoever. Maybe if you use much better fuel, your engine and the lifespan and the parts inside will be cleaner. But again, highly unlikely you will notice that, because in Europe in general, in all major countries, apart probably from smaller ones, some over there might sell dodgy fuel. But I mean, the fuel quality is good, you know, like in Germany, France, in England, you know. Again, it's not really much choice you can have. You can add some additives if you want, but again, whether they work or not.
Right. Well, we've got we're running out of time, so we need to final tips for what to put in your car for winter.
All right, let me quickly go through for the prepping what to put in the car. Make sure, you got a shovel, your Snickers bar, your water, some blanket. If you're stuck somewhere, right? So you can get out some sort of rope if you're more rural areas and you don't drive in a city. What else we can put in? Dave, we had Snickers bar, right, or some sweet bar, water, shovel. You're not gonna put sands in there. Salt.
Well, make sure you got a quilt in there and a gas cooker, because if you're gonna be stuck there for a while, you could be cooking for 2 or 3 days.
Yeah, if you go to Mont Blanc somewhere in France.
You get one of these travel cookers. You can have one of these travel cookers, a little gas one. They're only little bottles, but you can get them on Amazon.
I know, but I mean, the main thing probably is make sure your phone is charged. You got some sort of chargers as a backup, just in case. If you go somewhere,
if your phone's not working, you've got to shout to someone. You can't go, "I'm over here," and they can't hear you. If you're going, "Yes, man, I'm here."
Yeah, and regarding prepping the car, obviously the winter is coming. Make sure you have a right antifreeze in and not the water, so you don't have a surprise in the morning when your cooling system is actually frozen and nothing actually happens. Make sure you have a de-icer, correct wiper fluid as well, not the water, so you don't have again surprise in the morning.
You can mix antifreeze with your water in the radiator, can't you? Or do you have to drain the radiator and put the antifreeze in?
You have to drain it. Depends obviously what you had previously and what you've done with your car. And if you know there's the water, you have to drain the water and just put a fresh antifreeze. Obviously, for certain countries you mix them, because like in UK it will never drop in a certain parts of UK, right? I mean, Scotland will be slightly different. It kind of would never really slip to -10, but obviously, as in general, talking about the Europe and some parts of America where it gets cold, and some other countries, you need an antifreeze which is -35, you know, couldn't resist high temperatures, otherwise your cooling system will froze, your water pump will froze, your thermostat will froze, and your everything else will froze in the pipes and could crack your head gasket. Not your head gasket, but your car's head gasket, right?
Yeah, not your own one, not your personal head. You don't go, "Oh, need some headache tablets."
Yeah, and make sure you got winter tires. Make sure you got right winter tires.
Yeah.
Correct tires, and you've done a right service, and you put right oil for the winter. If you're driving in adverse, cold, freezing conditions, right? But if you're talking about just the standard -5, -7, as long as your oil is changed, fresh oil, right for the winter, you're fine. That's always recommended in where it's cold weather. Is you kind of change oil before the winter. But no one does that, pretty much, you know. Those old perceptions where if you change the better viscosity oil for the winter, you know, it's easier for the engine to turn over when the temperature drops to like -15, -20. You know,
you always see some bird, don't you? When it's frozen in the morning, when you go out to your car in the morning back in the UK, you'll always see some bird boil a kettle and then pour it on the windscreen. The next minute.
Yeah, that's a really clever thing. The best thing just to get a scraper or de-icer. That's just lazy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I've never boiled a kettle in the past. I always used warm water because obviously it's not going to freeze if you get the windscreen wipers on it while you're doing it. It does the job. But I always remember neighbours and people like that where they boil the kettle and come out, and then you hear, oh my God, I've cracked the windscreen up. Or the seal's gone on the windscreen or something like that. You think, you idiot, what are you thinking of?
Yeah, that's not a good practice. Don't do that, because if there's -10, it's just gonna freeze again, you know. So it just doesn't make sense to do that. You can protect your windscreen with some foil covers to make sure your windscreen actually is not getting that. If you don't want to do this, which is annoying, and if you don't have heated windscreen, which actually demists the front windscreen quickly, then just put the cover if you don't want to do it, or keep it in the garage, you know.
Yeah, good point there. Right, well, we're running out of time. So next week, what's the plan?
Next week, we will have
On Tuesday.
Jonathan Burliand on a show, because as he's a super busy man, he's going to be on Tuesday or on Thursday. We will clarify that, as his time is valuable. And,
well, he's building a skyscraper at the moment, so we could be turning up on the show in a hard hat.
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
like most of us do, we go out and build this. I mean, I'll be building a snowman probably soon, but Jonathan's building a skyscraper. He just came out in the conversation that he was busy building this skyscraper. So I'm like, all right, sit with a sea view.
So if no one knows why Davis means skyscraper, because Jonathan is a property investor and a successful property investor in the UK, and so that's why he builds the skyscraper.
No, he doesn't just go out and do it on his own. He's obviously got.
Well, clearly, yeah.
Yes, he's obviously got. I don't know how many men building this skyscraper, and happy days.
Happy days.
So Tuesday or Thursday, he'll be on with us.
Yeah, we will talk about the cars, about Porsches, because he's a great fan of Porsches. So yeah, we will have a great topic about Porsches, and
right.
If you love Porsches or love cars, tune in. It will be great fun because he's one of the characters to listen.
Brilliant. Right, 11 o'clock Tuesday. Don't miss it.
Yeah.
We're back with us live from the UK
on drive time.
Yeah, and hopefully we won't have a problem with a technical issue. All right, pal.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great weekend.
Have a great weekend. Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in. Questions on expactradio.france@gmail.com and
.fr@gmail.com.
.fr@gmail.com. Correct.
Yeah. Perfect.
And enjoy the rest of the day, everyone. Take care.
Speak soon, mate.
Speak soon. Right. Make sure you've got a shovel in the car. Antifreeze, right oil. And I will see you next time.